The court did side with President Trump, ruling that he has the authority to fire a member of the Federal Trade Commission. But it's broader than that. President Trump hailing the decision as a great win, calling it, quote, the greatest increase in presidential power in the last 100 years. Indeed, that's pretty spot on.
Joining us now is former Deputy Assistant Attorney General and former law clerk to Justice Clarence Thomas, John Yoo. John, thanks for joining us, John. You know, the one thing that is most interesting to me isn't what happens under this administration. It's what does this look like and what precedents being set on all of these cases that could maybe be dangerous under a Democratic-controlled administration?
That's a good way to look at this is, what does this mean for the presidency as a whole, no matter who happens to be the president, no matter which party is in charge? And in this case, I think President Trump's tweet there is exactly right. The Slaughter decision is the most important decision on presidential power in the last century. It gives the president, no matter who it is, Democrat or Republican, direct control over every agency, every official who has anything to do with carrying out federal law, which is most people in the executive branch. That means the only exception to that is the Cook case, the Federal Reserve. And even there, the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Roberts, writing both Slaughter and Cook, says this is just an exception, one time only, one ticket, one trip for the Federal Reserve. So that means, it's a very good question, President Trump can use that power now to advance and accelerate deregulation of the economy. A liberal Democrat, a socialist Democrat that we were just talking about, might want to use it to re-regulate the economy. But that means the choice is really up to the voters now about what kind of role government will have in the economy. We'll be able to vote directly for presidents who directly control those regulatory agencies. And so they still ultimately work for us.
John, fold this Slaughter decision into the Loper-Bright decision, which upended the Chevron doctrine. And we could go back to even another decision, say West Virginia. But these two Supreme Court decisions combined, how is that kind of remade the regulatory landscape? And what does it do to executive branch power?
A great question. You're thinking about it at the very high level of constitutional strategy, in fact, because what is going on here? Combined Slaughter, where presidents now have more direct control over the administrative state. With Loper-Bright, where the courts are also saying now, we are going to exercise more direct review over what these agencies are doing. And the bigger story is all the branches of government are trying to wrestle back into its constitutional box. All of these agencies, which for 100 years almost now, have been just steadily regulating the economy, increasing the costs on innovation, entrepreneurship, on private decision-making of us as citizens in the name of sort of technocratic expertise. All these efforts, Loper-Bright, now Slaughter, the other case you mentioned, the Major Questions Doctrine, West Virginia, are all efforts to put the administrative step back into some kind of constitutional box of limited powers.
John, we're going to move on to topic two. We're awaiting the Supreme Court's decision ruling on birthright citizenship. Obviously, this is a big one. This will wrap their session. What's your perspective and what can we expect tomorrow?
That's right. That is the major decision. We're waiting for one other decision also, whether states have the ability to limit women's sports only to biological sex, women born by their biological sex at birth. And so birthright citizenship, if I had to guess, and based on what I saw at oral argument, I think President Trump is going to lose. Here, President Trump is the revolutionary. The standard rule has been for about 100 years, 150 years actually, that if you're born on the territory of the United States, you become a citizen, no matter the legal status of your parents. But I think it's going to be a close case. The justices were uncertain. There were several justices, I think, who agreed with President Trump. I would have said 10 years ago that would have been a 9-0 case against President Trump. Now I could see it easily being 6-3, maybe even 5-4. I think President Trump has made a lot of headway in his arguments. But I think this Supreme Court isn't going to want to take that step and really alter the law the way it's been administered for the last 150 years.
John Yoo, great to see you, sir. Please come back. Always
Thanks.
a lesson.
Thanks,
You know,
anytime.
It was free for everybody, too. Beats going to law school. Still to come,